impact on hotel industry. Recently, while announcing GST rate reduction for accommodation having tariff value less than 7,500 or equal to 7,500 per day per unit, GST rate is being changed. Presently it is 12% with ITC, but now it is 5% with no input tax credit. So there are certain questions which is being answered in frequently asked question 2.0. First question: whether taxpayer can opt for 18% GST in such cases and avail ITC. FAQ clearly saying they are having no option. They have to apply 5% GST rate and no input tax credit on input and input services. So they are having no option. And second case, what happened to their ITC? Quite obvious. From 22nd September, GST rate being 5% for accommodation having room tariff less than equal to 7,500 rupees per day per unit, then 5% GST with no ITC means they will not get any input tax credit at all. So there is no question of availing ITC. But third one, which is not being answered in FAQ, but to my mind, there may be a situation they are having two type of accommodation. One is more than 7,500 rupees and one is less than equal to 7,500 rupees per day per unit. Of course, for accommodation less than equal to 7,500 rupees per day per unit, 5% GST, no ITC. And more than 7,500, 18% GST with ITC, you may have two situations coming out. One which is 18% taxable, ITC available, one 5% applicable with no ITC. Then in a given situation, you may be having some common input services and capital goods. In that case, you need to reverse credit, which is pro rata pertaining to accommodation on accommodation having a tariff value less than 7,500 rupees per day per unit, no ITC on input and input services in terms of Rule 42 of CGST rules. So you have to really check and comply accordingly.